Mas Sajady here with Mas on Sundays. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. No matter where you are, it's going to be a great day, isn't it? Or it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great world. And that's what we're talking about here on What's to Come in 2022. This episode of Mas on Sundays is powered by the addiction series coming up for you. And then also Total Human Reset, where we can actually start from scratch. Total Human Reset is about getting every aspect of your life. Again, total human reset. That's what it's about, right? In this health, wealth, in this case, it's going to be relationships. We're going to be focusing in on the relationship aspect of it in the total human reset. Those who have done the total human reset, comment in on how drastically you've changed your life in what is about the 22 days that we're doing the total human reset. It's a whole new diet plan, everything, guys. So again, that's all coming up. And then also addiction series. The addiction series is a set of, the first few calls are actually free, and even if you're not addicted to anything, it's really interesting or intriguing to understand how addiction works. Why addiction works is, no matter if you think you're addicted or not, at some level, you're addicted. How many of you watch too many social or get onto too much social media, or as soon as you get a call on your phone or a buzz on your phone, it's like, shit, I got to figure out who that is or what it's about. I mean, it's like you're on call all the time. It's like, I got to answer that phone. Those are all addictions. Those are those things that you need to disconnect from. All right. So we're going to do, we're going to jump into on what's to come. So now what's to come in 2022. And what I'm going to do is use my power of future vision to help you navigate through the murky waters that's coming. The murky waters of deceit, power, and control that's always controlled this reality. Well, it can't anymore. And I'll give you the logistics or the science behind why it can't anymore. But in this episode, we're going to help you understand the first level, the real reason why the events of the rest of 2021 and 2022 will happen. Okay. And it's really intriguing, by the way. And then you can learn two things right now that we're going to do. And then we're going to, that you can do right now to help you prepare yourself to go into that higher level. Okay. How many of you would want a whole new world? I mean, a whole new world, not just like, well, I just want better health. I just want to be happy. I still don't know what that means. When people go, well, I just want to be happy. It's like, are you just giving in? It's like, is that what it's about? No, you're not here. I was watching the new James Bond movie last night with my daughter and my fiance, and in it is really interesting. James, well, I don't want to give away the ending, but it was really interesting. It said, I forgot the quote now, but it said, just don't tread through tread through life. Just live it. That's what you're here for. And that's what this whole 2022 is about. That's what this whole COVID thing is about. That's what all this garbage is about. Right now, what's happening. Okay? So we want to go into the past on why this has happened the way it has, and then into the future. Okay. So what's happened in the past? It's not because, governments did this and somebody did this and, the Chinese did this and the US did this. All that's just been happening, okay, all the time. Blaming this to that, blaming who and what and all that. It doesn't matter. It's like a bad divorce. Literally, it's a bad divorce. That's what it is. And we're divorcing. We are divorcing. We're divorcing. There's one thing, and I'll get to that. Okay. But have you ever noticed in a bad divorce, we always blame each other. We always blame the other side. We could blame ourselves as well. It doesn't matter. But we're always blaming. But it doesn't help, right? And then the situation and the relationship gets worse and worse and worse and worse till you can't fake it anymore. You just can't fake it anymore. You can't just live the lies. You can't live anything. You need to get out. Well, the world as a consciousness can't fake it anymore. So we're not divorcing from, again, a religion or vaxxers and anti-vaxxers and this and all that. We're divorcing from the consciousness. That's what the number one thing is. Again, we're disconnecting from say the mastermind, right? The mastermind or the consciousness of humanity the way it exists today. Okay? So let me help you define what a mastermind is. And again, for those who are ex-Iers, obviously you do know who the mastermind. You do know what the mastermind is about. But for those who are new, and we're always having new people, so thank you for that. And by the way, like this video, so we can offer you more free content. So take a deep breath in. We'll turn it into an experiential experience for you. So a mastermind, whenever two or more individuals get together, what we do is we create a third person. Okay. Now that third person dictates how the relationship works. So no matter what you do, once that third person, say, is created and formed, and it takes a little while, once that third person is created and formed, it's really hard, say, to get out of, say, changing or transforming that relationship. So that's the key. You can change your habits, you can change your attitude, you can change rule sets, you can do whatever that you do, but as long as that third person dictates the relationship, you have to change the mastermind. And most people, once the mastermind is created, and it's a natural propensity, by the way, that's how, again, the pecking order in animals, right? Herd mentality, birds. You know, if you've ever seen birds, I was watching birds the other day in Minnesota, beautiful weather, and these birds were flying around. And if you've ever noticed, it's like they've got hundreds of birds and they go one way and then all of a sudden, boom, they'll flip around and go the other way. There's no leader in that. The leader is the mastermind. There's no physical leader, but it's a consciousness that, again, that group of birds, for example, gets stuck in, and it's like, hey, turn this way, and boom, everybody just turns that way. That's how powerful the mastermind. The same thing happens in humans as well. So whenever two or more individuals get together, in this case, it's about 7.8 billion. Well, more than that, because in this case, it's all of humanity is caused by the mastermind, even the people who've died. So just think of it. How many billions throughout the ages? Because again, you might go, oh, that's bullshit. That can't control. Yes. The thoughts, the back end of, all the people who've died. You might not think that's true. But think of it this way. You're mutated from those who've died. You didn't clean up. So again, from those who've died, your parents, look, you're aged like your parents, you think like your parents, all that stuff. You're bringing in the dead. No matter, from the first human, all those things have been brought in to this current state. Okay. It's a lot of darkness. That's a lot of heaviness. That's a lot of lies and deceit, right? So let's take a deep breath in again. So that's the mastermind. It's been controlling. So that one identity of humans controls everybody here. 7.8 billion living individuals. People, that small group that dictates, say, how the world works, they don't. They think they do, but they don't. They're scrambling, by the way, because, well, they're losing control. Like in a divorce, once you know it's over with, you can't stop that divorce. You can't stop that disconnect. Even if you don't get divorced, say, under, legally or in the eyes of the public, right? There's that mass separation. So that's what's happening. It's the mass separation of that mastermind, that consciousness. Okay? So that's what's happening in the past. And as a result, you can't hide any of your bullshit. So, for example, COVID is just an extension, an outward appearance of what's happening deep down inside. Again, you cannot hide the viciousness, the control, and the heinous crimes that people do to themselves and others. Those things you can't hide that anymore. It comes out. It literally is coming out. Look at you at a political level or at a world level, and then even physically, you individually, you cannot hide behind your bullshit. So take a deep breath in again. And it's a wonderful time, by the way. Okay, this isn't the end of the world. This isn't, a day of reckoning. This isn't where, you're sitting in in front of angels or God and going, did we do good? Did we do bad? It's all bullshit. Well, it's not bullshit. There's some truth to it, but not a lot. So take a deep breath in again. So future vision. So that's what's happened, or that's the culmination of what's happened today, or where we are today. That's why everything is again falling apart. It's always been falling apart. Before we were constraining it, we were holding it down. Now it's all coming out, surfacing. Right. So as you notice your chest, so future vision. I have a gift of future vision. Is it a gift? We all have this gift, by the way. We all have these abilities as we ascend to a higher version of what humans are. And that's what I do with exponential intelligence through, the 18-day hyper meditations. That's transforming lives in 18 days, literally just by listening. Total Human Reset, the addiction series, actually a powerful series that can actually help you become a stronger version of who you are. So addiction can be a choice for you, not a prison, but actually a choice. That's how powerful it is. And it happens, again, we did the abuse series. Within 6 weeks, people were, they've been abused for what, decades. They got out of that abuse. So a lot of those probabilities, or a lot of that possibilities of how you can release all that garbage and come into your grander version is coming out for you. For those who take it. For those who don't, well, you never know what happens. Breath in again. Somebody said here, the dam is breaking. I can't hide behind my bullshit. Absolutely. Nobody can. Nobody can hide behind their bullshit. So the gift of future vision, it's more accurate than scientific data, scientific proof, facts, and all that. And the reason why I'm saying this is because how many times, again, write in your experiences, how many times have you weighed out all the facts, even to the scientific evidence, by the way? And if you look on YouTube, all the big failures based on scientific evidence, you'll get a ton of stuff, right? How many times have you planned out, had the scientific data, and then you went through it, and then you go, fuck. Well, it didn't work out as planned. I know that's happened to me enough time. And you've had all the facts. Science knows exactly what's going on. They have all the facts. They don't know how to put the facts together because there are a ton of variables that they don't even know about. So that's why having a gift of future vision, by the way, I teach you the gift of future vision in the higher end courses that I offer in exponential intelligence. Take a deep breath in again. Notice your neck and then your forehead, the third eye, if you will. There you go. Future vision allows you to go, and I've done this for companies, individuals, and so on. It's like, Moss, I'm doing X. Or in a company setting, it's like, I want to invent X, whatever, this new idea this way, this new product this way. And then you just extrapolate because you can move ahead in time and see how X does in 6 months, in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I do this to predict the Bitcoin movements. And I've been highly accurate on that. In fact, so accurate, there's a few investment houses that are using my abilities alongside their charting and all that. So take a deep breath in again. So that's why future vision, again, more accurate than any scientific data, because it accounts for all variables. Variables don't even know that we don't even know. So in the near future, what'll happen is that there's a viciousness that will come out that you cannot hide, and it's happening and it's coming up. And that's why this special What's to Come in 2022 episode of Moss on Sundays. That viciousness, you cannot hide. It'll tear everything apart once it's exposed. It'll go down to your deepest essence, presence, down to every fiber of your being. It's more powerful than anything that's ever happened before, more powerful than the atomic bombs, wars, anything. Again, it's a viciousness that you cannot hide from. Take a breath in again. Nobody can hide from. And once it's out there, no matter how strong or how powerful you think you are, it'll deteriorate you. That viciousness is truth. Truth has a viciousness. It'll tear apart anything. Think of it. It'll tear apart love, bonds, blood bonds, whatever it is. Truth will tear apart everything, and it can't be stopped. It's like a fire that once it engulfs you, which engulfs all of humanity, it won't stop. It cannot stop. Breath in again. So if you're a leader and you're leading people the wrong way, I'm not saying you are, but again, as the world leaders lead people maybe the wrong way, as the truth awakens within you, you'll see what'll happen. Breath in again. There's immense power in truth. And that's what's happening now. Like Chicago Police Department walked out. Not Frontier, Southwest Airlines. Their pilots walked out. Again, truth gets exposed. One, it's very vicious. It'll destroy anything in its way that's not true. Right? Truth does not set you free, by the way. That's a myth. Some of you go, well, the truth will set you free. Well, no, it just unlocks the door. What really sets you free is, again, exposing the truth. Yes, the truth does allow you to be set free, but most people don't do it. They'll hold on to their bullshit. In this scenario, future vision, you can't hold on to your bullshit anymore. You really can't. There's no way, there's no time, there's no space to, everything is becoming more and more transparent. By truth, I'm talking about this reality cannot hold on to the burdens and the baggage of yesterday. Take a breath in again. It's not just psychological truth. It's the way you look, the way you render or you create this yourself in this reality. That's the truth that I'm talking about, right? And again, it does include everything. You can't hide your old patterns. You can't hide, say, the heart issues that you inherited from your parents. All that's the truth that I'm talking about. The truth that I'm talking about is living your highest vibrant self. So as you take a deep breath in again, noticing your throat. So what does that mean? Living your highest vibrant self. It goes beyond, say, the social and economic and all the social media and all the ideas of living. It's not about that. It's about your inner grander version of being a top level human. That aspect of you is coming out. Anything else will not exist. You cannot hide anything. You'll see social media, physical, actual facts that will come up in 2021. You'll see the propaganda coming up. News. Sorry, news propaganda. They should call it propaganda. Anyway, you'll see newscasters trying to sell you some goods, and you'll go, wait a second, that's not true. Even the dumbest individuals who've been brainwashed, people go, something is fishy here. So you'll see a lot of news, and then you'll see a lot of those news channels blaming other news channels for spreading news. We were the good guys bringing that shit out. So you'll see that start to happen, by the way. You'll start to see, again, within you, you'll start to see all the degradation of you from your parents, your lineage. So A lot of families will be disoriented or distorted because, again, they can't hide the white elephant that's in the room, that's always been in the room. Somebody has to face it, somebody has to do something with it. Okay. You'll see that again at a personal level and at a physical level. You'll see, well, everything come out. You'll see all the lies that have been there. All the you'll see people who are, I don't know, you'll see a ton of people who are, say, gay or lesbian actually be gay or lesbian. You'll see those individuals who were gay and lesbian and thought they were gay and lesbian, for example. And I'm just giving you one example on how deep it goes. And it's like, wait a second, I'm not really gay and lesbian. So again, everything will clarify, it will center to, again, your original form, your purest form of intent, which is really beautiful, by the way. That's just, I don't know why that came up. A situation with a dear client of mine came up, and that's why that shows up. Okay, a breath in again. You'll see marriages start to collapse again, more and more. You'll see a lot of alcoholism, drug abuse, almost um, overdosing, and it might look like the end of the world. In fact, it's really not. Say that your life, say that you're 90% living a lie, okay? Because like I said, the truth does set you free, but not the way people understand it. Now there's two choices, but now you only have one choice. The way the truth sets you free is that this is the real, this time that we're in is about setting you free. So for example, if you're living a life of 95% lies and you're set free from the lies, literally intrinsically at a DNA level, your genetic makeup, right? Not psychology, your genetic makeup, 95% of you dies off. There's only 5% that lives. 5% of you. You cannot sustain being here with only 5%. So that's why there's be a lot of, say, awakened death happening. Okay. So you'll see a lot of death happening. Breath in again. But this time, it's not a death of burden. It's a death of awakening, a death of releasing. In the past, it was a death of burden because that truth or those lies that when people crossed over, again, was embedded in the living. Now nobody can do that. So it's a massive cleaning. People like you, many of you who are XRs, you go through detox. Right? You go through detox. This is a world detox. XI is just years and years ahead. So those people who have been practicing XI or just jumping into it now, exponential intelligence, you're going to be ahead of the curve where you're letting, you know that you're letting that shit go. You know that you're letting your lies go. And then you're going to be riding the wave of truth. Because like I said, truth is very, say, powerful. It's very vicious to what's not true, but it's very kind and loving to what is true. So that essence of you, even if it's a small piece of you, even if it's a small piece of you, that essence of you will just blossom like no tomorrow. And it's really fast. Really, really fast. I have this video that I'm going to post on social media. So join my Instagram and especially YouTube channel. I'll post. If you've ever walked on the beach, right? And then the tide rises and you see all the footsteps of people, right? And the sand is all over the place. And then all of a sudden this wave comes through and then washes back. And then it's pristine again. The sand is just like smooth. Have you ever seen that? I'll show you a video of that. Well, basically, that's what's happening. It's going to clean out, say, the sands in the history of humans. A breath in again. It's a whole new version of, again, the future as far as finances go. So I'm not suggesting, I'm not a financial analyst, but I would suggest investing in Bitcoin or Ethereum, not some of the altcoins, but again, the major players in the cryptocurrencies. Also, I would suggest being real with yourself. So, one, if you want to be ahead of the curve, come into, again, a higher version of abundance. I'm talking all around abundance. Again, invest in cryptos, right? It's easy. As things come out, don't lie to yourself. There's no place to hide. Really, you can't bury your shit anymore. You have to release it. So those are the two things that you need to do now. Again, invest in yourself. Even if you go, well, I don't have the money, I'll invest in future. You can't. The time to take advantage is now. If you want to plant seeds up for tomorrow is now. Because if you plant now, no matter how much of a, even if it's just a tiny whim, the wave of truth will expand that for you like you would not believe. Again, it's a beautiful opportunity to reset your life. Let go of your garbage. That garbage hasn't done anything for you. Again, let it go. Focus in on the grander version of who you are. No matter where you are, no matter how destitute you are, no matter how ill you are, no matter what it is, again, allow that little seed, that grain that's deep within you, that's true. Focus in on that. No matter how big the storms come around you, no matter if it's a tornado, a hurricane, an earthquake. You'll see a lot of earthquakes happening, by the way, as Earth starts to reshape, nature starts to come back. A lot of weather. I predicted all this in the past, like years ago, like 3 years ago, actually. Now it's coming more and more into fruition. Okay. You'll see a lot of buildings start to crumble that don't exist on truth. Literally, they'll just start to fall apart, or they'll have fires. For example, maybe churches or synagogues, or I'm not talking all, but again, those who practice the wrong version of it. It's a massive cleanup, guys. A breath in again. Oh, NFTs, totally. By the way, I'm going to be creating my own NFTs. So take a look at for that. There's so many opportunities for you to have wealth in this reality. Okay? In this new reality that's coming through, more and more opportunities for wealth, for all to be wealthy, are going to be showing up. And that's what, well, the people or the leaders are trying to take away from you, where you own nothing. You rent or lease everything. There's a small group that owns everything. That's what they're trying to do. But that's not the case. In this reality, you own yourself. You own your own self. You own your own, say, environment. You're not leased. You're not owned. You're not a slave to anything or anyone anymore. You are free. A lot of people won't like that freedom. People like getting told what to do. People like blaming others. People want the government or whoever wants to control them. That's what's happening. You can't. If you want that, you'll have to exit the world. So there's a lot of people exiting. So let's take a deep breath in. We'll spend about 5 minutes. Gold and silver, well, so there's heavy inflation. And usually, with heavy inflation, gold would be the prime target, right? Or the getaway vehicle for investment. But if you've seen through inflation, and there is tons of inflation, by the way, you see gold hovering around 17, 1800. It hasn't really moved. It went from 12 to 17, but again, it hasn't really moved. It should be way over. So people are actually pouring their money into, like I said, cryptos. So take a breath in again. There's going to be great opportunities for you to start brand new businesses, new concepts, new adventures, new avenues. So coming up. So if you've ever wanted to start a business, again, plant the seeds now. Plant the seeds now. if you want to reshape yourself, whole new look. If you want to get rid of, again, illness patterns from your family so you don't have to pass it down, again, this is the time that you focus in on that. Get rid of it and then start fresh. Breath in again. Will blockchain riot? I believe they'll kind of hover, but we again, for those who were in the BTM group and through the predictions, we made some really good investment on that. We sold at 70 at a high. Now it's back to 25 again, riding the waves, right? You have to ride the waves. Breath in again. Stock market crash. You'll see a correction in cryptos as well. Again, what's not true? The valuations of companies, those have to come to real evaluations. Can you have a cool business? Fantastic. Breath in again. And then what we're also going to do here is think of any political leader, religious leader, business leader that says that they want to do it's for your own good. Let's make it for our own good, not their version of what's good for us, but then again, human version of what's good for us. So we'll work on them as well. Government shut crypto down. They tried, hasn't worked. So they've joined crypto. Breath in again. Real estate prices, again, through the wintertime, you'll see them go down. It's a time of death. Literally, it's a time of death. Perfect for the fall season, fall coming winter season. Real estate values have gone down already. By the way, yes, they'll go down. More and more people will awake. You'll see the news come out. There's riots. There's demonstrations that aren't shown here on the U.S. news or probably anywhere else. So again, you could either focus in on the darkness, the cleansing aspect of it, or you can focus on the growth. And I tell you this all the time. At an individual level, again, what do you want to focus on? What you want to leave behind or what you want to focus on growth? Focus on growth. Okay. Federal Reserve be shut down. I actually have a talk on that. So I'll tell you later. Breath in again. So the truth, running in, just imagine the truth running in everybody's veins, everybody's genetic makeup. Obviously, the bullshit has to release, but then everybody runs at an optimum level. Everybody's harmonized. I was talking about this on the 18-day hyper meditation. Imagine if all your cells were harmonized and resonating as one. How happy would you be? How abundant would you be? Now imagine all of the world resonating with each other like that. It'd be one huge celebration, celebrating everybody's differences and expanding the possibilities, because there's potential for everybody to make uh, more, say, immense wealth for everybody out there. You don't have to control. You don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to live in lack. So that's what's coming for 2022. The darkness that you're going to see, that's all the last, say, our old selves washing away. I'm going to go ahead and leave you in this space, guys. We're going to come right back, and then we'll analyze you, and I'll keep telling you more predictions, specific predictions, if you ask me, on what's coming for 2021, 2022, and what's happening specifically for you as well, if you are the lucky ones that get scanned. It's one of the best opportunities in history to awaken and reclaim who you really are. Any relationship starts with, that relationship with yourself. I'm actually here to change your underlying program on how you see yourself in relationships. What we do here in Exponential Intelligence is literally change you from the ground, or your main framework, okay? Your blueprint level.
As obviously works on a frequency level, and frequencies are like the A-bomb of healing, because they fundamentally change your structure from a biological, chemical point of view. Maz's frequencies, or Maz's meditations, they recalibrate that innate ability for a human being to come back towards homeostasis.
I think this type of thing, your work, XI, all that is a epigenetic factor. I think it is a great influence, because if you can turn a genome on, you can turn it off. And I think that with XI, with what you do, I think those are higher levels of a person that have not been turned on yet, that need to be turned on.
Right.
You can go in and hit like that little switch.
Yes.
Turn that on, and it might be something new for this person, because it's something different, but that's what we want. This is all what we're wanting, is a better way, a higher way of existing and living and being.
Hey guys, we are back. Welcome back. Again, Mas Sajady with Mas on Sunday. This portion, the frequency scans, where I actually go deep inside within seconds and tell you exactly what's going on with your life. I don't need to know you. I don't need to know your real name or anything. Your frequency signature, even if you're chatting here on the group, I can pick it up. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like you can't do that, but you can do that. I've done it for years. So again, it happens. Very accurate for those who I do read. Again, comment in on how accurate I am. Not for me. I already know I'm accurate, but it's for you. Okay? And it's not an ego statement. It literally is for you. Go, fuck, how did that guy do that? Right? How does that work? Where is he tapping into? For those who are Xiers, it allows you to kind of go into, say, the realities or the consciousness or wherever the knowledge is held. It allows you to go in and open up your gifts that you have. For those who are non-believers, it's like, well, how did that guy do that? Why was he so accurate, right? So again, it opens up the possibilities for you. Okay, and besides, people go, well, I don't believe what Moss does, or I don't believe what it's like. Fuck, if, and I'm not talking about you guys, but for those people who don't believe, I'm just thinking, it's like, well, why wouldn't you just give it a chance? Because look at your life. It's fucked up. I mean, look at how people live. They eat their young. Literally, look at the relationships that you all are in. Look at all those things. Look at the science that doesn't even fucking work. Look at all that stuff, and look at the religion. Look at all that stuff, and people go, well, I don't believe. It's like, even if you didn't believe, it's like, fuck, this shit's not working. I mean, face it, it's not working. You'd go, maybe it could work. Maybe there's a new way, there's a new process. The cryptocurrencies, nobody believed in that. The airplane, nobody believed in that. Nobody believed Tesla when, he brought in wireless technology or anything like that. And now look what's happening. So again, for those non-believers, kind of open your mind up, or you'll be, again, literally washed away with the sands of time. All right. So the disclaimer, this is Mas Sajady with Xponential Intelligence, Sunday, October 17th, 2021. If I do analyze you, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to diagnose or heal. I can scan your frequency signature, tell you what I see. So please, if I tell you anything physical, like issues, again, consult your doctor for professional advice. If you ask to be scanned today, you're agreeing that we may use your session on any public media to help inspire others. So remember, if you don't want us to share your session, then don't ask to be scanned. It's really, really simple. All contents are protected by copyright. You may not use our content in any way, shape, or form for any purpose without my written permission. And by the way, please just ask once. All right. And we'll go through some of the other questions too. Some people looking at drought, famine, and stuff. Sure, that could happen as, again, natural weather patterns and all that. Natural weather patterns start to change and reclaim themselves. The earth is changing, by the way, right? So you'll see, who knows, again, earthquakes. I do see earthquakes coming up first part of the year next year. Again, is that devastation? It's devastation to clean up it, to form into a new world. The earth changes, guys. Okay? What you're telling earth to do is like, it's like you have a little kid, and you have a little kid, and it's like, no, you stay at 5 years old. You don't grow. Earth is like that, guys. Earth is changing. It's growing into a higher version of itself. Whether humans come along with it, it doesn't really matter. Right? It's going to change into whatever it needs to change, adapt. Right? It's not because it's our fault. It's because of pollution. We're killing ourselves with the pollution. But Earth doesn't care about that. We're too minimal, again, to stop its process. So you either go along with it, or again, you get eaten away. I'm looking for, can you define its essence, please? Sure. It's the highest version of who you are. Will Trump be back in office? No, he's he's got a lot of illness in his brain. So does Biden. Holy shit. No, so they're both, Trump has some kind of, something happened in his brain. So it doesn't look really good for him. He'll have really clear insights when he's on his meds and stuff like that. If he's off, it's just like, yeah, a lot of nervous type disorders. Biden, he's not even there. So literally he's empty. He's just like, he gets spaced out, and he's an old man, but he's in prison of a young child. Really fucked up, by the way. So, and then he has to imprison others. So, yeah. By the way, those kind of solutions, if they would have worked, they would be intact today. Since they're not working, again, it's a whole different, say, solution coming up. Is Ethereum classic? Not sure. Ethereum, as long as it's Ethereum, I would definitely. Coming through. Can't wait for it. If you've noticed, by the way, if you're the XI frequencies, you'll be safe. It's crazy how. Have you ever noticed that the XIers, you're going through life and you're kind of like in this bubble of like safety and happiness and joy. All those stuff around you is happening, and like you're just walking through, and it's just like, whoa, what the hell is happening with the world? That's the frequency that, again, is gonna say save your ass. This one, here we go. Donna Marie, I'd love to be scanned. This is Donna. This is the first time that you've actually felt like a woman, from what I'm seeing. You're always been burdened by male frequencies, so to speak, or taking care of male frequencies, or in your family, it's like the women are stepping back in their support personnel. And yes, you're supposed to be, as a woman, a nurturing, because that's your propensity. But not the way most women do it. So in this essence, again, you're getting the vibrancy. So you're going to go back and Donna, please comment back. Seems like there's a youthfulness that's coming into you, which is really nice. So congratulations, son. There's a youthfulness that's coming into you. There's a vibrancy that's coming into you. It's almost like you're going to go back about 10, 12 years of your life and like replay it. So whatever happened to you 12 years ago, 12 to 14 years, could be off by 1 or 2 years, but whatever happened there, you're going to go back and then reclaim that and relive it the way it should have been, okay, without whatever issue that was there. So congratulations, son. The one thing that you need is at some level, somebody has to tell you what to do. Because again, well, I guess that makes sense. If you've always been, say, a support personnel for, again, masculine frequencies, so that includes women that are, say, masculine as well. So now you're free. Now you choose. You get to experience life the way you want. So I'm going to tell you what to do, Donna. Okay, Donna. From now on, I want you to be the best possible version of yourself, no matter what anybody else says. That is your direct order to you. Okay. So again, I want you to be your best possible version of who you are each and every second from now on. Okay. Those are direct orders from a male. All right. Will there be food shortages? There would be supposed food shortages, but for those, again, you'd be amazed on how those who are, so for those who want to experience, say, the darkness side, you will, because it again, this is a choice. This is real choice coming back into your hands, coming back into, say, the choice of the masses. The smaller group that controls this reality, they don't have choices over you. So if you choose to be in that famine state, yes, you'll be in famine. If you choose not to, again, at a deeper level, not like consciously, and you're fearful of, say, you're running lack patterns, and then your fear of running lack patterns, well, that's what's going to come up for you. So you're fearful of having no food, for example, and then psychologically you're going, well, I choose not to be in famine. That's not the point. It's not a psychological choice. So be truthful to your inner pattern on what's really running, say, the psychological thought. So if you're psychologically going, shit, I'm afraid of, so go back one step back and go, okay, where's that pattern that tells me that I'm afraid? Because many people through the XI process, they go, shit, I'm not scared of that anymore. I know I'm going to be good. So you want to be there. This one, Kaluni, I want to create light and truth. Don't fight for it. Be it. That's the difference. Again, people always want to do that, but you're always like fighting for it. You're always the underdog, fighting for light and truth. Those people, you'll get, so the underlying reason on why you'd want to do that, again, because you're always pushing against what's right. right? You want to be the thing that's right. You don't want to push. So in this scenario, again, you want to be the frequency that you want. You don't want to fight for it. Okay. Be a mountain. Okay? It just is. It doesn't push against. Hamas, can you scan me and my mom? That's Haja Job, Haja. So the both of you kind of huddle together. You seem to be the parent for your mom. Your mom feels really young to me, by the way. So you're the caretaker of your mom, so to speak, even as a young child. And because of that, you stayed a young child. So obviously you're older, but again, you're a young child. You're stuck in your youth. So let's separate the two of you. Not only do I analyze you or scan you, but I work on you to again, frequency wise, to disconnect you. Um, and at deeper levels, private sessions, which are booked out. So if you want on a waiting list, group sessions and so on, we can go as far as literally editing your genetic makeup. Although that's what we're finding out, by the way. There we go. So for you, again, Haja, is literally separating the two of you, you and your mom, so you grow and you stay. Again, you grow into your age. It's not that you leave your mom, but it allows you to grow into your age. And then your mom has to, again, maintain her own self. Okay. Um, rising oceans, do you see parts of our coastal? Yep, absolutely. Be a mountain. Yeah. Do you notice a mountain doesn't have to prove itself? It just is. You can push on a mountain all you want with all your ideas, concepts. It doesn't push back. It's just there. Let's see. Here we go. Moss, please scan me. This is golden something 25. Yeah. Um, yeah. Golden REB. Oh, Golden Rebel 25. Yeah. So take a deep breath in. So there's something going on with your upper chest. It's always like a choking feeling for you. So you want to, let's see what that's about. Again, it could be a physical manifestation, like physical issues of the upper chest, or again, it could be a pattern where no matter how hard you try, it's almost like some big hand like pushes you back down. So you get to the point of almost succeeding, right? You're getting that, 3/4 mark, and then all of a sudden, it's just something just crashes on you and just like pushes you back down. It's like, oh no, you don't. So let's get rid of that for you. So when I explain what the truth is, okay, the truth will be exposed off everybody. The truth of how you run your frequencies or how you create your reality, that's the truth that I'm talking about. Okay. Not the truth of what government did and what all these, I mean, those are secondary in nature. There we go. There we go. Golden member. So you'll see that. So basically, what I did, and again, it's the start of it. You'll see that you can get up to that 3/4 mark, and then you'll have a choice on like before it'll just like crash down on you, and then you'll see that pivotal time moment. Again, I would suggest a session, but you would see that you get to that point in any relationships, whatever, even in relationships, right? You get to the point that where you're almost like, engaged or whatever, and then all of a sudden crashes. You get to a point in business, you get that 3/4 point, and then again, it just crashes for you. So what I did for you is I helped you get to that point and then maintain that point where you can see why it crashes, right? And then you can do something about it. So, this one, Leanne Goza. Yeah. So yeah, for you, Leanne, not sure how old you are, doesn't matter, but you're running an older person's pattern. So say, for example, your grandma, you look a lot like your grandma. That makes sense to you? Yeah. You look a lot like somebody older than you. Again, feels like a grandma. It could be off, could be an aunt or whatever, but a feminine frequency. Again, it could be your grandfather with a feminine frequency. So anyway, so what happens, and this is what, say, controlled you, and this is what your truth is. So when I say truth is coming out, so when I read you, when I, analyze you, all right, or scan you, the truth of who you are. So for you, and I forgot your name. Yeah, Leanne. So for you, for example, the truth of you is that your your life is predicated. Your life has the same recipe as we'll just call it your grandmother, your great grandma's mother's pattern. So whatever happened to her will happen to you. And since she's a lot older than you are, as you get older, right? You age faster because again, the two has to merge together. Does that make sense to you? So again, this is why you're aging faster, and especially in the head area. So you might have, say, um, physical issues or mental issues or brain type issues happening to you at a younger age. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not analyzing or diagnosing, but um, say you're 50s, 40s, 50s, you seem 50s, and then your grandmother, 80s, so to speak. As you get closer and closer in your 60s, well, the age gap again closes in, and you get closer and closer again, so you age faster. So you can disconnect from that, by the way, and you are with whatever that you've done. So in this session, literally mini session, just separating your identity. So separating your identity between your grandma's identity. Seems like you almost have the same eyes as your grandma. So which is kind of cool because if you did the XI, and by the way, guys, those who've been in XI, those who've radically changed their like eye color, or other hereditary patterns, like they're not, you went to the doctor, you had a propensity for heart issues, and now you go, well, shit, that's gone. Again, those kind of changes for you. And again, if you have the physical proof, like, doctor's records or photographs of, your facial features change, your eye color change, whatever, we'd love to, send them in. We'll reward you for that. But we just want some more like documented cases so we can take it to a university and go, hey, let's study what's going on, and turn this XI into, a science that people can live by. Let's see. Scan, please. Beth, personal. So for you, Beth, something happened to you in your teens. It could be wrong, could be off. It's almost like sexual abuse, or date rape, or something to that kind, where you weren't really comfortable in your situation, or really highly fearful, and that fear actually created the physical manifestation or representation. So it was either you or your mother had that experience and she never got over it. Anyway, it's affecting you. So you feel like, especially in your midsection groin area, you feel like a girl of 18 or so, although you're older. If that makes sense to you. So again, so intimate relationships, it feels like you're getting abused, or it might feel really good, or you might get attracted to that type of relationship. But again, even if it's a loving relationship, afterwards you'll feel like you're getting abused, or you can't trust that person. So because you're living from whatever happened in the past. So again, that truth will get exposed. Okay. And you have to deal with it. You have to say, release it. So when truth, again, this is the truth that I'm talking about. Would love a Feroza. Would love a scan, please. Yes, Feroza. So for you, hon, there's a lot of culture for you. Yeah, a lot of culture that comes, a lot of culture that, say, has suppressed you from what I'm seeing, whether it's family culture or, again, the lineage, the culture that you've come from. That is really limiting you. And then you always try to break free from that culture, but then, your belief systems and paradigms are of that system. So you can't break free. So in this case, let's help you pull away from yourself, so to speak. So you actually see the patterns that you're running. Because a lot of time, from what I'm seeing, is that, you're doing something else, although you might think you're doing, let's see, how can I explain this? If you have a close friend, your close friend goes, hey, you know what? You're running this pattern, and you're going, no, I'm not, and then all your friends go, yeah, you are. So it's that kind of pattern for you, right? You're thinking you're going that direction, and all your friends are going, no, you're actually going this direction. So again, pay attention to that. So let's help you step back out of your life so you actually get to see the direction that you're going. And then once you do, then it's like, whoa, I can't believe that. And then that's where a lot of changes, and you won't feel, say, imprisoned by your own self. Although you might think it's your culture and all that, you can release yourself from it. Although at once it was. This is one of the most powerful sessions. Thank you for that. Please scan me. Zana, cool name. Zana Metz. It even looks cool. Zana Metz. So there's a lot of damage in your midsection. It's almost like shattering in your midsection. Yeah, from your solar plex or mid chest on down, into your groin area. It is like a shattering. So you never feel complete. You never feel solid with yourself. Things get broken apart. Intimate relationships, again, they might feel good, but then it shatters you, and then you have to almost get a craving for intimate relationships. But then that craving again shatters you even more, because the craving makes you feel like you're put together, because literally you break apart, and we'll try to see why. While I'm putting you apart. So again, intimacy, literally, or connection with somebody, or holding on to somebody, like, will put you together, and it feels good. But then what happens is that it's a lie, because you have to put yourself together. Other people can't. And then what happens is it'll like magnifies the disconnect that shattered piece. So let's put you together. Let's remove the memories of why you were shattered. And it's not even your memories. It seems like your parents went through a divorce, or actually maybe 2 divorces. Your mom or dad did, maybe 3. Anyway, there's a lot of that going on in your family. More than, let's just say, multiple separations or multiple divorces. Kids lost? No, kids lost. There might be some kids lost, or having to, say, give away a child, that kind of feel, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, there's just this is where also, say, women had to, say, sell themselves to put food on the table, or that kind of situation. Current day, right? If you watch the movie Bombshell, or the Harvey Weinstein scenario, so some woman did that in your family, or that propensity exists in your family. So it's all about, again, the female identity for you, right? That's shattered. You're running that pattern of a shattered female identity. So we can release all that, and that's what I was doing. So sometimes when I help release, even in these mini sessions, I'll not just be mindful that, as you put yourself together, or as you come together, some of the memories that are in between the pieces, again, will show through. Just observe your lower section there, and as you heal. Okay, so those memories have to peel away for you to heal, even if they're not yours. So, Zana Metz, yes, exactly. So exactly, that's quite amazing. So thank you for the feedback. Again, guys, how do I know that? Again, it's not an ego state. I'm just asking you, how do I know that? I'm not asking you for you to figure out how I do it, but it's for you to figure out how you can do it. So again, ask yourself, like, how the hell do I know that? Right? What is Moss tapping into? Because you all have these abilities as well. By the way, when the truth comes out, your truth of who you are, the biggest version of who you are, comes out as well. right? So that's the truth that comes out. It's very vicious. When you find out, and I'm going to just leave you with this, okay? This last one, Cassandra, you're getting sucked into old, say, spiritual habits or religious patterns. So you're awakening, and that's why I choose this, guys. Many of you will have a fork in the road. Okay, so be mindful, Cassandra. Whatever that you've done, again, you've cleaned up. There's good power in you, but there's going to be a fork in the road for you. Okay, so what that means is some of the deeper spiritual patterns that you have, or belief systems, mechanisms, all that you have, and then the new version, the real version of what it is. And I'm not saying the old version is wrong, but I'm not saying it's right. It could be purified, right? More honed. That pattern is like you're separating. So you want to let go. You want to just observe where it takes you rather than deciding at a conscious level, right? You might have an old belief system and you might think that's true. Like, say, your emotions, right? That's a belief system. Your emotions tell me this. I'm going to follow my heart. But if your heart has, misguided you in the past, you don't want to listen to it. Again, so don't listen to your belief systems, your emotions, or anything like that for your Cassandra. This is where you have a chance to, again, release and go to your higher version, or cycle back. You never want to cycle back because you're awakened, but then you choose to follow, again, old dilapidated habits, patterns, belief systems, all that. You want to let go. And this is where not just you, Cassandra, but others, you just want to let go. Just observe. Okay? Don't make decisions. Don't make judgments. Just observe. It's not like you're in a holding pattern, but you'll get washed into the higher consciousness. And this is where you get to reset your beliefs. You get to reset your emotions. You get to reset your logic. And you'll go, oh, that's why that shit always keeps happening to me. Okay. Again, like Einstein says, you can't say solve a solution from the same level of the problem. So this is why you can't use that scenario. You'd have to let go, allow yourself to, say, percolate up, and then new form of logic. So congratulations. But again, it's a very important time for you for you and many others, by the way, to separate. Okay, by observing, not judging or believing. There we go. So take a deep breath in and imagine yourself. Imagine that. Excuse me. Imagine that you. Imagine that you had a credit card. And, you had a spending, you could spend like, a couple $100 a day on it, like $300, $400, $500 a day. That was your limit. And you knew this all your life. It's like, oh, wow, $500 a day. For some of you, it's a lot. For some of you, shit, that's not a lot, either way. So $500 a day. For some of you who, again, less, you go 500, that's pretty good. Again, for some of you, say you had a credit limit for those who think that's a lot, okay, which isn't. For those, again, say you had like a $10 limit a day. Okay, there we go. $10 limit a day. And it was just free. Your rich uncle, it's like, hey, you've inherited $10 a day for the rest of your life. And that's all you did. And you did well for $10 a day. You did whatever that you did, really fantastic. But take a deep breath in again. But the truth is, and it comes out, you look at the statement that you get every month, and then you've made a mistake. It's not $10 a day. It's like $100,000 a day or $1 million a day. You misplaced the zero. You misplaced that dot. It's like, holy shit. So no matter how good your life has been at $10 a day or $500 a day, so imagine having, say, $100,000 a day that you could spend, or $1 million a day that you could spend, or 10 million a day that you could spend. No matter what you've done, no matter how good you've done it, just think you'd always go, shit, if I knew that back in the day, how much more could I have done? No matter what you did before, how much more could you have done? So that's what's going to be happening for many, because you're going to see the potential of who you are. So again, don't cut yourself down when that shows up. When your real self starts to show up, don't cut yourself down. Just go forward and go, I'm going to spend this wisely. I'm going to spend my pure potential wisely. I'm going to leave you at that. I look forward to seeing you on the next Moss on Sundays, or some other program like the 18-day hyper meditations, or again, the free total human reset call coming up on November 2nd, or the XI call coming up on November 11 coming up. Very, very powerful, by the way. Okay. If you really want to reset the world, or your world, and then help expand consciousness, right? Evolve consciousness. You want to be on the XI talk. So look at the copy on that. It's on massajady.com. And again, like and share this video. All right, guys. Notice what you notice. Notice the details. Peace. It's one of the best opportunities in history to awaken and reclaim who you really are. Any relationship starts with, that relationship with yourself. I'm actually here to change your underlying program on how you see yourself in relationships. What we do here in Xponential Intelligence is literally change you from the ground, or your main framework, okay? Your blueprint level.
As obviously works on a frequency level, and frequencies are like the A-bomb of healing, because they fundamentally change your structure from a biological, chemical point of view. Mas's frequencies, or Mas's meditations, they recalibrate that innate ability for a human being to come back towards homeostasis.
I think this type of thing, your work, XI, all that is a epigenetic factor. I think it is a great influence, because if you can turn a genome on, you can turn it off. And I think that with XI, with what you do, I think those are higher levels of a person that have not been turned on yet, that need to be turned on.
Right.
You can go in and hit like that little switch.
Yes.
Turn that on, and it might be something new for this person, because it's something different, but that's what we want. This is all what we're wanting, is a better way, a higher way of existing and living and being.